Hello everyone, the 316 here with our annual Christmas special. This year I decided to go with a Red Lantern themed Christmas special. As you can see on the left here, I have the Batrocitus figure. Came out a couple of years ago. I found mine at a Burlington for $10. And on the right here, I actually have a custom, my first custom DC Multiverse figure. This is Red Lantern Hal Jordan from the digital Silver Age Hal Jordan figure. And that was $24.99. And we'll get more into him in a bit. But let's go ahead and go back to Batrocitus. So Batrocitus here, let's get the box out of the way. Batrocitus, it said he was made in May of 2022, it looks like. May 20th, 2022. Seems to be. Yeah, standard Mcfarlane DC Multiverse box, Death Metal Dark Knights, same art as the card. Pretty standard stuff, and here's the card for you, which actually uses a render. There's not too many cards that are renders of the figure. And then here's the back if you want to read up on that. There you go. Into the binder it goes. Accessories wise, this is the main reason I wanted to get him. He came with a Red Lantern battery. So cool. Now I can finally give one to, either Hal here or Atrocitus rather than Batrocitus. But it's a nice looking piece, and it does phosphoresce under a black light. Look at that. It's all purpley looking. Cool. Alright. And then accessories wise, Batrocitus comes with 4 unique hands. 2 sets. He comes with a pair of fisted hands, with the right one having the Red Lantern logo on it. Mine's slightly mismolded, but it's not that big a deal to me. Because, for the most part, on display, you're not going to be looking at his hands. You're going to be looking, like, in this region, right? And then he has 2 other hands, one of which is more designed to hold the lantern, and another one which is more of a just general open hand. And the easy way to put the lantern in is like this. Make sure it loops under the pinky finger as well. But it holds decently enough. It does fall out, I've noticed, pretty easily. And this is the claw hand. Sometimes I actually think this one's holds it a little easier, but that one also has the issue of kind of falling out. So that's all the accessories Batrocitus comes with here. And since we have him here, let's just continue with this figure. This is a brand new mold that Mcfarlane made for this figure, which is quite surprising. But to be fair, at the time, they weren't really doing too many mold reuses. They were doing pretty much all new figures, stuff like that. Around 2023, I feel, is when the reuse started to become apparent. And this body actually was reused for their Wave Rider figure, which I don't have that figure, so I can't show it, but it's a pretty nice, good-looking body mold here. It does actually have sculpted ankle and wrist joints. At least I think the wrist joints are sculpted. No, wrist joints are balls. The ankles are sculpted. This was the time when they were transitioning into the sculpted wrists and ankles, which, again, I do appreciate. The figure here is kind of got some rubber overlays, so like this piece here, including this little black part here, it's kind of like Atrocitus, where it plugs in on the front and the back. Unlike Atrocitus, though, you can't take it off. This midsection, very similar to how Atrocitus is. This is a rubber piece overlay on top of a shaft of plastic. And the boots look pretty good too. This is kind of weird though. I might sand that down. That just looks a little strange with the 2. It just looks weird. It's like a weird looking sandwich. Just like those are the buns. There's the filling. It's just very strange. I really do like the texturing on this figure though. It's, again, similar to Atrocitus, which we'll take a look at. But let's get into that head sculpt. Look at that head sculpt. There's some dust on it. He's been sitting on my desk for a little bit, but nicely painted. Really liking those teeth. And I don't know why this red eye. There you go. You can see that it has red eyes on both sides. It's really nicely done head sculpt. And while it might not be accurate, if they do... Actually, they are doing a Batman Begins figure. They did show it off. I kind of wish that they'd reuse this head for like the Nightmare sequence in that movie when like he's talking to Scarecrow and Scarecrow's just looking at him and he's all black and like the tar and ugh. I wish I might get another one of these figures just to reuse that head for that. But articulation wise, it is on the double ball here. Can't really get much out of this figure. That's the best you're gonna get pretty much. Arms wise, you can do a T pose, but you can see the shoulder piece does flex out of the way. So if you don't want your shoulders up like that, best to keep them down. And pretty decent amount of movement on that rotator cuff. The elbow joint here, because of this rubber overlay on the forearm, can't really get up that high. You already know what this can do. You know, you get the side to side, or if you prefer the up and down, you can do that like so. Cool, cool. And you can swivel it at the base as well. Same thing for the other side. The midsection piece can swivel at the top. It can also swivel at the bottom, but I do not recommend it. I just don't recommend it. And let's see, how's that crunch looking? Actually, for Mcfarlane standards, that's a pretty great crunch. That's pretty damn good, actually, all things considered. Actually, it looks like he's crunching. Back-wise is actually worse than the front, which is surprising. All right, legs-wise, can you do the splits? Can do the splits. The diaper does get in the way, though. Yeah, it does definitely gets in the way. Kick-wise, similar to the Geoforce figure I reviewed on Monday. Doesn't get a full kick. Let's see, swivel's pretty good there. The knee joint. He can't kick his own ass, but he can get a pretty decent amount of movement out of that. Ugh, I did not want to move. And of course, you got the swivel, you got the hinge, you got the pivot, although the pivot's kind of hard to move just because of how the foot is molded. It's a little weird looking. But that's Batrocitus, pretty cool figure. I forgot to mention the emblem, but that's painted nicely, and it is molded as well. It's not just painted on. Always nice to see molded logos like that. So that's our first Red Lantern we're taking a look at. But now let's take a look at my custom one, this Hal Jordan Red Lantern, this using the Silver Age body. I've been working on this custom for quite a while. It's not done. I still need to add a matte varnish to it. This is completely, unsealed. There's nothing sealed on it. But I was at a point where I was just like, you know what? I'm done with this. Let me show it off in full. But yeah, like I said, reuses the Silver Age Hal Jordan body, head, accessories as well. The hands, I did paint those, but they didn't come out as well. This is the first figure I custom painted, and I've learned a lot from it. I probably should have done a base coat of white so that the red would be brighter, kind of like how the arms look brighter here than the rest of the figure. This almost has like a brown color to it. I don't think it looks bad. It's just a little bit darker than I would have wanted. And, next to Batrocitus here, you can see that he's a darker red, but it's not something that bugs me all that much now. The logo is hand painted. I got that as best as I could to the, the Red Lantern logo, which you can kind of see on that battery here. There's been different interpretations of that logo. I just tried to look up Red Lantern Hal Jordan to see what his looked like, and his was more like this. But I think this turned out well. The first version of it I had didn't look great. This one looks much better, much cleaner. There's still issues with it, but when I look at it, I'm proud that I was able to freehand that for the most part. I'm not really going to go over articulation. I just want to go over the paint job. You can kind of see like a darker, shiny paint there. That's actually from a Sharpie. I just took a red permanent marker, not Sharpie brand. Not sure what brand it is, but I just added some cell shading to the figure, and I think it makes it stand out a little bit more, especially from an angle like that. I also did the same with the black sections here. You can kind of see there's just a line on certain parts of the black here. Again, a little difficult to see, but when you notice it, it's definitely there, and I think it looks pretty good. I did a little bit on the back too, but not too much. Yeah, good looking figure here. The hardest thing to paint was this red line here. You can just barely make it out, but he has like little like 3 lines on the sides of his ribs there. Again, hard to do, especially since it's my first custom, but I did paint the hands as well, and one thing I did, you'll notice, is that I actually added a little black dot on the left hand, because in the iteration of Red Lantern Hal Jordan that I traditionally see, he actually has both the green and the red lantern ring on, which I don't know why it wants to focus. See, there's the green one, and there's a little black dot on this hand. I don't know why it doesn't. There you go, the little black dot on his middle finger there. So I did do that, and I think I did it on these fingers as well. Yep, it's 2 little black dots. You can't really make it out, but I painted these hands too. These look a bit more bloody, like he's just gotten into a fight with someone, so that's cool. And you can replace those if you want. I'm just going to leave them to the side here. As far as I know, articulation is unhindered, but if I pull up here, you might be able to see some paint rub. Maybe not. What about back here, since I dug into it? I guess not. Maybe I painted this better than I thought. But yeah, I'm not going to go over the articulation. I just really wanted to show off my custom Red Lantern Hal Jordan. And I really like how these two look together, but there's another Red Lantern that's missing here. So let's go ahead and do our size comparisons. Batrocitus stands at pretty much 7 inches tall exactly. And Hal is just a little bit taller with that hair sculpt. Looks pretty good. Oh, and before I forget, I wanted to look at his face. I always forget something on these figures, but I accidentally got a little bit of red paint into his eyes, but I actually think it turned out really well. It adds like a red glow to his eyes and makes him look all that more nasty and sinister. And I added a little bit of dry brushing to the face to make it look like some dried blood. So I think that worked pretty well in my favor there. You know, some customs you make and you mess something up, but then it turns out to be a blessing in disguise. I think that was one of them. Anyway, as I said, this is the Christmas special for this year. So let's go ahead and get in Santa-Trocitus in here. I love this. I always love dressing up Atrocitus in stupid looking outfits. But love how these 3 look together. Let's get them closer together. You can see how similar Batrocitus and Atrocitus are. Very similar color scheme. Atrocitus has a more shiny rubber color, whereas like a gloss. Like Atrocitus has a gloss, whereas Batrocitus has more of just a plastic sheen to it. It's not flat, but it's not gloss either. It's somewhere in between. But the texturing is very similar between the 2 of them as well. Really like how those 2 look together, and Hal Jordan as well. I really like how it turned out. And he's been on my desk for a while. Like my desk, he's been on my desk for months. So why did I decide to do a custom Red Lantern Hal Jordan? The main reason being is that I actually found one in Target, and Amazon wouldn't let me cancel my pre-order. So I just kept him in box, and I'm like, what could I do with this? And I'm like, oh, Red Lantern Hal Jordan. But enough of the comparison between Atrocitus. Let's go ahead and get some other figures in here as well. Here's the Silver Age Green Lantern Hal Jordan figure. It's the exact same figure, just one's red and one's green. And you can see pretty much all of what I had to paint here. It was a lot of work, but I think it turned out very well. Yes, I even painted the diaper piece, which I probably should have just found a black diaper piece instead. But no, I had to just wing it. But there you go. Let's see. The only other lantern color they've made besides white is, well, they technically made white, but we have Sinestro here. There's white Sinestro. Or why did I call him white? I want a white lantern Sinestro. I think that's just why I had him on my mind. But yellow lantern Sinestro, not Parallax, just collector's edition Sinestro. Loving how Batrocitus looks next to green and yellow there. Liking that. Let's take these 2 out here, and then we can see how Batrocitus looks next to some other Batman lanterns. Something just fell. What was that? Oh, I got it. There it is. Alright, so I'm going to move Hal to the back here just for a sec. And starting off with our first Batman, we got Yellow Lantern Batman. He's always had problems standing up, so it might take me a second to get him to sit still. There you go. And then we have Green Lantern Batman here. Still one of my favorite figures that Mcfarlane's made in the last year or so. It has its flaws, but I still really like it. And Black Lantern Batman. I think the only evil Lantern Batman I'm missing is Dawnbreaker, but oh well. I'm not too upset by it. But yeah, really like how Batrocitus looks next to his other Lantern Batman. Really liking that, and I'll probably put him on the shelf with yellow and green. Not too sure yet. And of course, as this is the yearly Christmas special, I'm gonna go ahead and bring in our Santa Batman here. I'm gonna do a photo shoot with these four, and I even got his little bags of presents there, looking good. But let's go ahead and get in our usual suspects. It's that time. We already got a Batman and Atrocitus up there, but we got our Jazzwares Halo Spartan Yoroi from the Spartan collection. Batrocitus is so big, I kind of have to reframe them. We have our wrestling figures. We have the AEW Unrivaled Samoa Joe and the Mattel WWE Elite 100 John Cena. Moving into 6-inch Marvel Legends Scarlet Spidey, G.I. Joe Classified Tiger Force Outback, Star Wars Black Series Retro Card Boba Fett, and the Power Rangers Lightning Collection Dino Thunder Black Ranger. So I hope you enjoyed this Christmas special this year. Let me know in the comments down below what you think of Batrocitus and how my Red Lantern Hal Jordan turned out. I think he turned out great, but let me know if there's anything I can improve on, what primers you use, etc. Just let me know. Don't forget to leave a like on this video, subscribe, and hit the bell. And I hope that you all have a happy holidays this year. I know it's been a rough year for some people, and well, I just hope your holidays turn out well. But that's all for me. As always, peace.